Namaste and good evening to all. Distinguished guests, delegates from other institutions, IEDC innovators, and members of the Bhavans family. Bhavans Royal Institute of Management, under the aegis of Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, is renowned for its holistic academic endeavors for human development. In recent years, the startup ecosystem has really taken off and come into focus on its own, driven by factors such as massive funding, consolidation activities, evolving technology, and a burgeoning domestic market. This evening, our Innovation and Entrepreneurship Development Center, Bhavans IEDC, has come up with a tete-a-tete on student business ecosystem in UK versus India, with two student entrepreneurs who have first-hand experiences on their ecosystem interface in England and India. On behalf of Bhavans IEDC, I extend a warm welcome to Mr. Bentley De Cruz and Mr. Amrut KS to this webinar. Our first speaker is Mr. Bentley De Cruz, is the founder of the Startup World UK, which is a platform for sharing inspiring stories of startups and investors across the UK. He is an external advisor of Institutions Innovation Council. He has won many accolades for Best Manager, Best Idea, and Best Product Concept during his school and college days. He is currently pursuing his Master's in International Business with a focus on finance in Edinburgh Business School, Heriot-Watt University. Our next speaker is Mr. Amrut KS, an award-winning student who has won accolades for being the founder of the first student-incorporated coir manufacturing industry in Kerala. He was honored by the Minister of Travel and Tourism, Kerala, for being the youngest licensed tour guide of the state. He is pursuing his Master's in Business Administration in Led College, Palakkad, with a specialization in marketing and HR. Hearty welcome to all, and I'm sure today's session will offer us a glimpse at the ecosystem as an enabler of startups from the campus, straight from the real-life experiences of these two friends. And also, I have an important announcement to make from the innovators, delegates who seeks to get support and assistance on entrepreneurship-related activities and regular updates on IEDC. Please kindly see to the chat box. We have a registration link. Please kindly register into it. So let's first listen to Mr. Bentley De Cruz. I request Mr. Bentley to share his knowledge and experience about startups and entrepreneurship in UK.
Thank you, Akshaya. That was a lovely intro. It was great to hear all these stuffs about me, what I've done, and about my fellow colleague here, Amrit. It's actually a great experience, and I would like to thank Bhavans for organizing this, because entrepreneurship, the entrepreneurial culture is very much relevant in these troubled times, and innovation and entrepreneurship is the way forward. And a great shout out to Bhavans for organizing this. So yeah, I would like to begin with my presentation then. Rahul, can you please help me with the presentation there? Thanks. So yeah, as Akshaya said, my venture is Startup World UK. So I've started this last year during lockdown. So for everyone, it was a troubled time, and was for me as well. So it was during that time I realized that I have to start something which is a kind of calling for me. So I realized that, and I tend to solve a problem which was existing at that point of time, and it's still existing, and I'm trying to solve that problem. So that is when I came up with Startup World UK. It is basically a platform for helping other entrepreneurs in the UK come up, share their stories of innovation, and get the recognition which they thoroughly deserve. So at that point of time, there was no particular platform which was dedicated to help these entrepreneurs and investors across the UK get the high limelight which they deserved. So the main intention of me starting Startup World UK was that, and it was a 7-day process for me. It took 7 days for me to start up, get it from the ground and set it running. Rahul, could you please change the slide? Yeah, so Startup World UK basically brings you stories of entrepreneurs and change makers across the UK. I'm passionate about entrepreneurship, and my venture is to bring out those that passion into something feasible, something which others could experience, something others could divulge into. So my venture is aimed at illustrating and highlighting the works of fellow innovators and entrepreneurs across the UK, so that they get the recognition they deserve. Rahul, please could you change the slide for me? Yeah, so why Startup World UK? So when you begin a venture, there's always a question, why? So this is the major why. There are about 600,000 startups being found in the UK every year. That's 1,643 startups a day. But then I realized that there is no single platform which helps these startups get the recognition, what they're doing. They have an idea, they're starting their venture, but people doesn't know about this unless they become a unicorn, or unless they get funding and they do their marketing activities. So I wanted to change this. So that is the major reason why Startup World UK was born, a support system to the change makers. So at the beginning, as I said, at the beginning of any venture, there might be limited resources, and they won't be in a position to market a lot, to get their recognition to a higher crowd. So my venture, what it does is help people get the recognition they deserve, and so that they can connect with other resourceful persons and take their idea forward into a successful venture. Rahul, next. So this is some of the work which I have done. So my first work came with Crowdcube. Crowdcube, the major reason for me selecting Crowdcube was they are a great change maker in the UK right now. What they do is help startups get the funding which they deserve. It's like a crowdfunding platform. So they allow startups to raise funds by sharing some stake in the company, and it is shared to the public. So public who's interested in the idea could come and invest and get some stake in the company. So these different startups come up with different ideas to solve a particular problem which is existing in the society. So while promoting these, I had an opportunity to know about all these startups, and through Startup World UK, what I intended to do was get that same exact feeling for the readers. So these works was done during the lockdown period, and over the 1 year, all these companies, all of them have done brilliantly well, because Babylon, they are a health startup. They were a $1 million company last year, but now they are a unicorn. So it's a big change. And what they're doing, they are helping individuals get the much needed health advice at their fingertips. So it's not possible for anyone to always go to the doctor, especially during pandemic. You're not able to physically go to the doctor and get the prescription or get the advice which you require. And Babylon gives that advice at your fingertips. So all of these startups has an idea, a problem which they tend to solve. And me as a storyteller, I wanted to explore that problem and present that to the public, so that they could explore how these startups are making a difference, how they are solving the problem in the society. So Waterhelm, what they're doing is they convert salt seawater into drinking water by a much efficient rate rather than the big machines used around the globe. So that's a ground-breaking technology, because I was thinking of doing something like that when I was in my 12th grade, but I didn't know how. But years down the line, someone else is doing it, and they're doing it brilliantly well. So I was not able to come up with a solution, but someone else came with it. So I'm looking to promote them so that they can get the recognition. So this is basically my idea of helping. So as an entrepreneur, it's not always about building a product. It's always it can also be about a service and solve the problems for others as well. Active water it's the first alkaline water here in the UK. So what it basically allows to do is provide water with a little bit of pH value more rather than the regular normal water which you drink. It gives you health benefits. It gives you more health in the sense it allows you to breathe better, helps you to feel better, all that. So all these startups serve different purposes. Rahul, could you please change the slide, please? So we help startups. So you could have understand that we help startups. How? We provide huge awareness for the users of those customers, public, everyone. They get access to the sites, access to the company's data, so that they know what is happening, and maybe they could use the product, or maybe they could partner with them, or maybe they could invest. So it is threefold, or many ways it could help in many ways. So these threefold set ways are just the recognized benefits. Increased visibility, credibility among investors. As I said, investors knows that these platforms are there. They'll be able to know who are the founders of it, what they are doing, what they have done in the past. All this data becomes available, and it becomes much more easier for investors to invest and take some fruitful ideas forward. Faster recruitment. So people there are looking, thousands of people are out there looking for jobs, and startups is the best place to begin your work journey, because it allows you to grow as a person, as your career. If you're in the initial stages of career, you will be doing a lot of tasks in a startup. So that allows you, there's always room for growth, and this platform will help you to know like what are the best companies out there, or maybe some companies may not have been recognized as the best now, but they may become in the future. As I said, in the case of Babylon, Active Water, Waterhelm, all these companies are mind-breaking companies right now. Investors are rushing in to invest in those companies, because over the past 1 year, during this pandemic, they have realized their true potential. SEO value it's always available in the Google. So if you search for it, you will be able to get the company online there. The story will be there for you to find it online. Rahul, put it, please. Yeah, so this was one of the sponsored post opportunity, a poster which I had made last year. So this is how I make money. I promote startups. So sometimes they pay me for getting their story listed. And it's much more cheaper than the traditional channels, because you'll have to spend on ads, you'll have to spend on streaming, all that to get your ads published. But here I could do a post for them and sharing their journey, and people are aware of that. So a good story is always leave a good mark on people, and they always associate that story with that product or service. So I believe that, and it's always been that case, because a good story always, for example, the story of Reliance, Dhirubhai Ambani is all known to us. So it inspires us. So the journey of startups always tends to inspire other people who are looking to set their journey in entrepreneurship. So this is something which I did that time. Rahul, next. So my journey towards entrepreneurship was not sudden. It started at a very young age. I could say from my 10th grade. So my grandfather was into business. He had his small enterprise. My father had his own business. So at that point of time, I never realized I would be getting into my business venture as well. But there was that in behind there backstage. It was always there. But it struck me when I started to do a part-time job back during my school days. I worked for this company called Kroon. It is a company registered in Dubai. What they do is, Groon stands for Groceries Online. What they do is they help customers order grocery online through their app, and so that they could get the groceries delivered to your home. They don't have to visit the supermarkets to get stuff. So I worked as a marketer for them. My job was to bring in partners to the app. So in this case, grocers, supermarkets to the. So it was challenging for a 12th grader to convince them that this is something of the future. This could bring you more business, and it was a huge challenge. But I kind of enjoyed it, and I did a lot of closures for a 12th grade student that time. So then I got that. Then after that job, I got to get to an opportunity to participate in a business competition. So that competition helped me realize that I am underprepared, and there is a lot of other good guys there solving great problems there. So I wanted to do something like that, because that instilled a passion in me, I could say, that I could in the future become someone who can help others or become a change maker. So that is the journey which started there. And Rahul, could you please? Yes. So then this was the best manager phase during my college days in Alberts. So after finishing my schooling, Alberts kind of changed me. When I came into Alberts, my sole aim was to have some fun and get the most out of college life, like how you see in the movies. But then one day I got this opportunity to participate in our very own Interfest, which was the Albertian Expo. So we had this competition, Best Manager. I went for that, and I failed. I failed in the sense I cried after the final round of Best Manager. It was the first time which happened to me, because I felt it was very insulting, because I cried in front of a lot of MBA students there. It was tough. The stress round was tough. So that evening, I decided, okay, I'm going to change this. So I started attending fests. I attended throughout my 3 years in college, I have attended almost about more than 50 fests. I have 8 Best Manager titles. I've won that. So what this phase allowed me to understand is that as an entrepreneur, same as an entrepreneur, your journey is not smooth. There'll be hurdles, ups and downs. It's always a roller coaster ride. So this, I think, Best Manager allowed me to explore that element, because success was not easy for me there. I used to attend these fests on a weekly basis, and I couldn't get succeed. Every time my friends used to ask me, okay, you went for this fest, what was the result? I said, final third way. I lost in the final. So it was kind of insulting at that point of time. But so that created a fire in me. Okay, I have to do this more, develop myself more. I started reading more. I started getting more knowledge about businesses, about general aspects, what's happening in the market right now. So all that kind of helped me grow as an individual, as a business person. So I would attribute this phase to the great extent to my journey here right at this point of time. Rahul, thank you. Can you please? Yeah, so after finishing college, I had no idea what I had to do. I knew I had to start my venture, but I didn't know what to do. So my parents wanted me to pursue higher studies, because they thought if I don't continue my studies, I'll be not going for it further. If I take up work now, after graduating college, I won't be taking up higher studies. So they wanted me to a master's. So at that point of time, I don't know where to do it, how to do it. And then my friend, he told me that he's gonna go London to do his master's. So it struck me, okay, London, it's a good place. It's a financial hub. It would be a great experience for me to get a master's from there. So I started exploring that, and that led me to Heriot-Watt University. So as seen 2 slides before, I attended the business idea competition at Heriot-Watt University, Dubai campus. So I always knew about this university, and when I knew that they have a main campus in UK, I was interested in joining them. So before coming into the UK, I had a purpose in mind, a venture of my own, and I wanted to explore that to the maximum. I wanted to make use of this opportunity which was given to me. So I started exploring, okay, what are the possibilities for me as an entrepreneur to grow here in the UK? So these are the results of that. Scottish Edge is one of the biggest startup competitions in the UK. There in the photo, you could see me with Sir Tom Hunter. He is the first millionaire in Scotland. He is the founder of Sir Tom Hunter Foundation. He supports many startups across the UK right now. And in my previous slide, I have shown the story of Waterhelm, Clio. All these startups are results of his support to startups. So this is an inspiration for me, because he's supporting other entrepreneurs, and it has led them to get their potential right, to reach their potential, and that struck with me, has always struck as inspiration in me. And all these other areas of Converge Kickstart Challenge, this is a competition for students here who are having a business idea and who want to take it forward. Converge Kickstart Challenge helps you with that. No Ties Networking, it allows you to network with other business professionals out there. It's a social gathering where you gather with them on a drink or on a meal. There'll be lots of people there, and you get to hear from different people from different facets, different areas of business. And this is really a huge curve for you, because it allows you to grow as an entrepreneur. It opens up opportunities for you to explore. Rebel meetups again, but this time it's a student thing. Rebel meetups, what it is, it brings student entrepreneurs together, and that allows you to. So these are some of the channels which I used to explore my journey here in the UK to be the entrepreneur I am today. Rahul, could you please change that? So yeah, so it's been 1 year. So yeah, this year, 9th of June, marked 1 year of my venture. And it was not a smooth ride, I would say, for that. But I feel quite content, because I could proudly say that I created something of my own. All of the things, website, hosting, getting to talk with the different startups, entrepreneurs, getting them on board, getting the posters ready, reaching out to people, and getting feedback, getting sponsored posts. So it was something I quite enjoyed. I'm still enjoying it, but right now I'm in my final stages of my student life. So I'm working on my dissertation right now. So that's there. So my startup is there. So 3 months down the line, I'll be able to explore my venture forward. So what future holds for me is, what this 1 year journey has taught me is that this venture is something good, something great taking forward to. If I could bring in a lot of other things into it, such as helping entrepreneurs register themselves, someone with idea meet investors, a typical section for them, so that they could just easily go in there and get the services which they need. Then, as I said, help job seekers get jobs listings in startups, so that they could apply for it. So all these are something which I look to inculcate in my venture going forward. And right now I'm in the final, as I said, I'm in the final stages of my my studies. So I'll be developing it. I'm in talks with some people there in India to build an app for my platform and increase. I'm slowly looking to increase the size of my team and raise funds to scale my operations. So this is what my future holds. At least that's my plan, and I hope grows and succeeds. So yeah, thank you. That's my journey and my story of Startup World UK. And I hope that it was able to instill some inspiration to you guys there who are looking to start their own venture. Thank you. Rahul? Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bentley. So that was a very elaborate account on a student's journey on his entrepreneurial path in a UK campus. I'm sure he'll be further explaining us in the open interaction session. So now let's understand the entrepreneurial ecosystem in India through Mr. Amrit's experience. I request Mr. Amrit to take over the session.
Yes, thank you, Akshay. And congrats for your venture, Bentley. All the very best.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, good evening, one and all. My name is Amrit, and I am a final year student studying in Lead College of Management. Right. Okay. I don't know you people are aware about today is June 27th. Today is MSME Day. Anyone of us aware about that? Can I know from the audience? Hello.
Yes.
All right. Yes. Right. Perfect. So, fortunately, that we got a chance to take a session right today itself. So, this is my journey. I don't have a long story to tell what and which all the things what I came through, but I can tell my journey which I came through, right? And about me. My name is Amrit. I told I am coming from. I am from Cherthala, belongs to Alapura district, and I have done my degree in hotel management. And after that, I have gone for an entrance coaching for that. As you all know, for MBA, I have done the CAT coaching in the Time Institute. Along for the 1 year, I have done all those trainings and around 10 plus entrance exams I wrote. And with respect to that, in between that, I knew about Lead. My friends were studying in Lead, which the college right now I'm studying with, and I have done all the interview process and everything in Lead. Then after that, I got an admission in TIS Mumbai. Hope you all know that institute, Tata Institute of Social Science. In for the entrepreneurship, I got an admission in TIS. So I really wondered, or I'm a bit confused. Where should I join? Because I have already know about Lead College and all those things. It is completely a student-driven campus. It's called something different campus. So I'm a bit confused. Where should I join? So I just informed the Lead. I got admission in this, so I am a bit confused. I don't know what should I do. Maybe I will be joining Lead. I'm not a bit interested to join in this. So I have told all these things, and immediately the next day, I got a call. I got a call from a person. His name is Dr. Thomas K. George, who is the director of Lead College of Management that you can see in the screen, who was standing beside me. That is a person who called me and told, "Hello, Amrit, this is Thomas. Thomas, I didn't get you. I am the director of Lead." Oh my God! I just suddenly stood up from my chair and I said, "Tell me, sir, what happened?" Then he just told, "I heard that a student who got admission in TIS is planning to join in Lead. Is it so?" Then I told, "Yes, sir, I am planning to study over there, but I'm not interested in this." Then he suddenly told me that, "Amrit, don't come to Lead. What makes difference that you're seeing rather than TIS, such a prestigious institute? Or what you're seeing something different? Just go to TIS and just enjoy your life or something. What you are focusing to, is it an entrepreneur or something? Anything that I can't just describe the Lead with TIS." So he just simply told that just go to TIS and just study over there. But simply I told I'm not at all interested and I'm planning to study Lead itself. So after just one word, he told me and closed the call. He told that it's okay, it's up to you. But only the thing is, after 2 years, which I'm studying from Lead, you don't feel a regret feeling. You doesn't feel a regret feeling that it was a mistake. That time, if I studied in this, I maybe become a slightly better person than right now what I am this. That is a word which that person told me. And right now, and I'm a final year student in lead. I can definitely proudly I can say I am definitely a better person. If whatever the thing, if I studied in this, maybe I will be a different person. But entrepreneur the entrepreneur ideas, the dreams, and everything in me has identified or just established or just anything. I can't describe the words how we called that person as Thoman. That his name is Thomas, but we students used to call him as Thoman. Uh, that is a culture we follow in lead. So uh, that is the way which I came from. And that is I'm studying in a complete, I already told, that is a completely student driven campus. And I started my entrepreneur journey from lead. Right. Okay. My family is having a choir industry who is owning near to my house, and so I got this drive about the choir or the insights to choir from that industry, and I knew about choir and I knew about this fiber, how the process was going on, everything I studied. So later on, I just discussed with Thoman. Uh, what about we can plan, or what about the implementation of this choir industry, what all the things insights we just shared the thoughts. So immediately the next day, uh, we used to sit after 12 o'clock in the night. 12 we used to sit because he will be busy with his works, and after all he'll be quite cool at the time. So the later on, the previous day I discussed about the choir, and immediately the next day I just wondered in his desktop screen for the different tabs. He just tried to search all those aspects of the choir industry and what all the departments we have and what all the feasibility, what all the products, byproducts, everything. He just searched. He know more than me what I told yesterday than the scenario. That is the thing which I really wondered. So that discussions going on later on every day, we had discussions. We find out what choir is and what all the products were, what is the quality, everything we find out. Then immediately after the next week onwards, we started going to the right after the Kerala. Tamil Nadu is the next state which has a diversified choir industries. So we went to Coimbatore, we went to Pollachi, we saw lot many industries, we saw lot many clusters which was running, which is making choir, which was making the different products from the fiber, which is making there is the choir art forms was there, choir glasses were there, and different varieties of products we just. So within a 6 month span of time, we got an exact idea what this industry is, or what is the potential which this industry can hold. So we got a clear idea. This man helped me a lot for searching or finding out me what is the insight in me with respect to the choir. Right. So our idea is, as you all know, we all know the medical colleges all around the world, or all around the Kerala. We know there are medical colleges. So along with the medical college, there will be a hospital, right? We used to see that. If any example, I'm not naming anyone, but along with that medical college, there will be a hospital. So such a model we are just trying to develop, which meant to say, in Kerala or anywhere in the world, I don't know even this concept is there. Uh, as we all know, we all are MBA graduates. We are studying the management. So along with the MBA college, we are just going to build up an industry, right? So from that industry, there are students studying in that campus, and the students will get exposure from this industry. Along with the college, we are just going to build up an industry that is completely driven by a student who was studied over there. That is the concept which we are focusing to. And let me say, I'm just in the position or in the stage of implementation. I have am not at all started right now, because all of the feasibility study and all the things has been completed, and right away immediately we are just on the pathway of the implementation. That is the stage, or that is all about me, right? So that is the journey which I came from, or which we are just going to do. Means we are just going to make choir. That is the first stage which we are just focusing to. Choir means from the fiber, you know that from the coconut husk we will take the fiber and we will just make from that fiber to the coir. That is a first end process which we are trying to do. That is the first stage, and along with that, after just 1.5 years, we are just planning to make different byproducts of the coir fiber and different products. That is the plan which we are going to focus through, or that is the industry, or that is the student driven incorporated campus which that you have done, that you have seen done. Okay, then next I can give you some insights inside you. Moreover than telling my story, I will connect the things with my story rather than, I think you all are passionate with the entrepreneurial journey or the startups. You all are driven with all these things. So I can share you some of the insights. I can share you some of the points which you that may add on to your life, or that can make your life or your startup journey something more lightly colorful, right? So this is the word which I'm trying to inject you. What is passion? You may hear this word at lot many times. This word has a lot many explanations, a lot many definitions, but in simple I can tell you, it should not be a plan. The passion should not be a plan. It should be a feel. I know most of you feel that you might feel something blank in your mind, the passion, what you can think, or something like. Anyway, it should not be a plan. It should be a feel, right? So what I am telling you is, if you want to drive your passion, or if you want to identify what is your real passion, means what I did is, the basic and foremost thing what I'm trying to release is just travel. That is the first thing which I have done. I used to travel many places. I used to travel. I used to see the things. Then I used to read the books. I used to talk with people. This is the three methods which I used to find out my passion in me. So the main point which I need to tell you is network with people. That is a word which I already I'm telling to you. Talk means right after I am just going to lead, I understood, I just communicating with lot many professors, lot many students, lot many bureaucrats. I got a different insight what we want to be. So the networking really matters. The natural evolution will came into our insights after the networking or the travel insights. We may get lot many things, lot many perspectives, the colorful life, what is the outside things happening, what is the market, we will understood. Then automatically the passion will be coming inside to our mind. So we know that opportunities are unlimited opportunities are around us. So it is only, the thing is how we are utilizing that. So so I already told I am just going to start a choir industry. Maybe that can be a failure tomorrow. That can be, yeah, it can be failure. But what I am thinking is, I am not going to fail, that which mean to say the person in me is not going to fail. Only that activity is going to fail, which means that choir industry or that choir perspective is only going to fail. So whichever we want to try different perspective of activities, let them fail, not an issue. Let them fail. In general, we can learn lot many things we can learn. So just focus to the point which what you are now. If something you are some point or something you are getting excited, just go with that. If that excitement really passionate in you, definitely you can find out your passion. So that can be converted to a startup, or that can be converted to a business. So definitely we can't plan anything. That plan doesn't make work out to your passion. So it should be a feel that has to be, of course it has to be come out from you itself, not from others, right? Hope you got a idea about passion, right? Done. Next is, everyone has having a doubt, or so many of people will be stuck in these two aspects. What is a startup, or who is an entrepreneur? Whether these 2 points is same? No, right? This 2 points is entirely different. So I can give you an example, or how I can differentiate these two aspects in front of you. Maybe you guys know that, but still I am just saying the difference of that. The startup means maybe that I can tell you some points. It can be scalable. First point, if it is scalable, whether it is a technology driven thing or it is an innovative thing, we can call it as a startup, right? So what is an entrepreneurship? So what makes difference, right? That is the question. Something innovative is with existing tech can be a startup. Yes, existing tech can be a startup, but something different or something different ideology or something different mix of things should be there, so that we can call it as a startup. If I am in a I am doing I am going to do a build up a choir industry which everyone is doing with, so I am an entrepreneur. So how can it be a startup? That is the question. I am an entrepreneur. I am going to run a choir industry, and how that can be differentiated from the startup? That is the question. So what my intention is or what my vision is, I just want to build up or I just want to make a something called different from the fiber. There is an extraction called choir pith. In Malayalam we will call it as chagrichoru, right? So from that aspect, I'm just going to make a manure which is completely organic, which can be used for vegetables or something anything. It can be a complete organic manure. That is the unique or the particular thing which I am going to make. So if right away that product is going to be available in the market, that is a unique thing. That is something going to be scalable. That is, I just want to understand the market, and I just want to be put into the market. So that can be a startup, right? So if you are going to run a choir industry, that what all others do, or if you are going to run a textile industry or something, a tea factory, definitely you are not going to be run a startup. That is entrepreneurship, right? That is the difference between the startup and entrepreneur. Hope you got an idea, right? Next. So then the next question is, what is required? So if you are identified what is I am going to be done, it is a startup or it is an entrepreneurship. So you identified your area, right? This is the points which I have listed for just to make an insight what all the things you required. So first thing is creativity. I already told it should be creative. If everyone is running a textile industry, I am also just going to be run a textile. What makes difference? Nothing, right? So something different or something unique, it should be there. So whatever the things should be there, you just plan for that. So next is integrity. So if I'm talking with integrity, people may say about what is should we be honest? Should we be honest if you are running a business? Definitely, I can't say complete less. If you are running a business, we can run a business. Which the thing is like, we want to file a paper into the government for getting a license from the, as our topic is how the Kerala is eco-friendly or Kerala is business friendly for running or just to start up a business. Just I can say that with honestly, I can say I can't say 10% it is yes that we can start a business, but with complete mindset of honest we can't do. What is the reason behind that means, uh, if we want to file a paper in a government office, we know that bribe was there. So we can't be honest. If you are saying that I don't give a bribe to anyone, so I don't want to make done that work, then the business will be stuck in that place. So even though, so what we do for the honest, we will do we will give that work to the consultant work. They will make it done for you. So in between that bribe and everything is inherent in that consultant team. So the honesty and integrity, I can relate with that word, and of course it should be done for our business. Then hard work. Definitely, it is not for a startup or an entrepreneurship. Smart work is not at all required. It is, of course, it need a hard work. Everyone will say the money will come, the businessman, the owner can sit aside, and the employees will work. No, not at all. So, of course, the hard work is required. 24 into 7, we definitely need to be work, because in the long run, maybe that you can definitely sit around and we can relax. But in the initial stage, of course, the hard work is required. Whatever the job in our company, we need to do. It may be a labor work, anything we will be able to do that. So that should be the stage. That is definitely required. So the quality and the service. So if what I think is, I am just going to make a choir, and it is just 150 run age quality choir. That is a standard quality which in the market it is available. So if I am going to make more than that quality, beyond the quality than the 150, then I can make it succeed. What I am trying to do is I will just make that choir, and I am just trying to make it as an export quality. Then definitely the quality matters. So the quality and the service which we are giving should be, it is a vital point which we want to focus to. Whatever business, that quality service has to be done. Then punctuality. If you are going to commit a work at a stipulated time, definitely that has to be noted. So that committed task completion as a prime vital importance in our business. Otherwise, the people won't agree us, or we may if suppose whatever the business, we may have competitors or the other side also. So if we are not committed to the particular task, we might be pushed backward, right? Yes. Continuous learning process, that is one of the prime important part which I focus to. What I think is, we might have employees in our company. What I am planning is, more than my education and more than beyond my ideas, more than beyond my perspectives, the employees want to be think. Then only our business also will get developed, right? So the continuous learning process will make the employees to think beyond the things what is happening in the company, and they will give the inputs that we can implement, right? So the continuous learning, don't have an ego perspective that we don't focus, that employee selling us, we can't implement that. Don't make a feeling like that. So there should be a continuous learning process should be there. So we should have a complete vision. So visionary, what do you mean by visionary? I can tell you one simple example. We all know that Cochin International Airport, CIAL, is there. At the initial stage, all of us has complained, or they told that why this government was acquired this much of land. What is the need of that? This much of acres of land is acquired by the government. It is completely waste of money. If that point is now, if we are looking to that CIAL, we can see that it is the world #1 airport which is completely operated by the solar system. See, that is the vision which that airport takes up. So what I am telling is, so if we are also running a business, we should have a vision. So that may focus to the long run, or what might be our next step be. So we want to think like that. So then only we can develop our business, or we can move ahead, right? Then calculated risk in the sense, lot many people may think like, if our business is below 20 lakhs revenue, we don't want to file the GST. So people may think like, if our business is below the 20 lakhs, we don't want to file the GST. So we can be exempted from that. See, I don't know why people are thinking that. Think beyond or think big. If our business or sale volume is beyond 20 lakhs, definitely the only thing is we just want to file the GST. If the return, if that is only around 20 or 25% or the subsequent percent according to the sales, but the profit percentage, if you are thinking it is ahead, or it is beyond the dreams. So we can chase all those things. Even it is the slab rate is occupied in the IT or income tax return also. People may tempt to file all those things. They are stringent to all those things. Something slab is there, they used to keep the things below that. Why should we do like that? Just think big and do big. Just do it is the word which I used to do, right? So these are the things which I need to tell is what is required. These are the things, what is the prime things which I am focusing to, or which I am just going to implement, right? So why entrepreneurship? That is a question. So this is the 5 main vital points which we can enjoy the privileges of the entrepreneur. As you know that the first point is, of course, it is money. Definitely, if you are going to work in any of the firm, rather than the employees, the big boss or the big man who is getting a high-end salary or the revenue is the boss of that company. So the money is the main point, the vital point that you can enjoy one of the best privileges, right? Next is flexibility. We don't want to answer anyone. We are flexible. If tomorrow we are just coming, sir, we are just going to implement another project, or we are just going to clear all those things, and we are just trying to implement something new. So it is completely flexible according to the persistence, we can flexibly design our business. Anyone don't question us, right? That is a privilege that we can get in our business. Am I audible? Excuse me.
Yes, you're
Yeah,
audible.
I got a call from Nivin from the Bhavans. Nivin is here.
Yes, Amrit.
Yeah. Fine. Then next is just pick the team you want to work with. Just pick. We don't know if you're working in a company. We don't know who are the team. Just we are going to work with, right? So it is highly flexible. We can work with the team what we are intended to. We can simply pick the team. So next is legacy. We can. Uh, I don't know how many of you know the general manager of Tata, but we know the owner of Tata, right? That is the legacy that we can maintain in this. We can enjoy the privilege of entrepreneurship. So leave your footprint in the entrepreneurship. That in the anywhere in the business that we can create a something called unique thing, right? So just I'm telling that cut the word from your mind T. If I can do it, that is the word which I just want to tell you is I can do it. If you are limiting the thoughts to I cannot do it, I am impossible, it will be only limited to that. So what I'm telling you is just don't limit your thoughts. It is that what I'm telling. All of us, the main thing you will be telling is what is you are lacking with. Definitely it is money, right? Or I'm lacking with the land. See, I can tell you n number of examples. Oyo Room, Swiggy, Uber, Ola, all these people who started with from the scratch. They have taken loan and they have taken out the people from the. See, if you are lacking the people, or if you are unable to pay the salary, you can hire the students from the colleges. You can do internships. You can lease the land. There are n number of opportunities. See, if you are telling that you don't have resources, we are resourceful. All around, we are resourceful. Try to understand that. Yes. So what I'm telling you is don't follow the ideas of others. So each of them has different perspective. They might be thinking from others things. So they might be succeed from their perspective because they have a expertise of their own. We can't follow that, or we can't copy that. See, copy will definitely fail. If you don't fail, even just I'm saying, you are not even trying. But we can learn from them. Take that perspectives, mix with our ideas, try to generate or try to develop something new. That is the method we just want to adopt, right? I am just going to build an industry with Quare, but something it is innovative and something which is not available in the market. I am studying the market. I am understood about the market, and I am just implementing that. So that is, I just follow the ideas, that there is an exciting thing in the market, but I just learn from these people, and I am just evolving another set of idea, right? So everyone will be having a close community which we are so much lovable with. So what I am thinking is, I always used to say think big. So this is one of the friend who has gifted this book to me. This influenced a lot for me, The Magic of Thinking Big. So if you are also interested, you can also read. So what I'm thinking, what I'm saying is, if you have also a community to build up your ideas or to generate your ideas, to share your ideas, just develop that community and just try to exist in that community. So the magic of thinking big. I always used to say, just think big and think beyond that. So just always say, I will definitely, absolutely. Just try to win from that. So if you're always saying, I will succeed, not immediately, but absolutely, right? I will take action, which others hesitate. Yeah, we should take actions which others hesitate. You definitely need to think big, with others don't. Then only we will be thinking, or we will be succeed unique, right? So just remove your word, which is I am, from your mind, and just say I am possible. Impossible is that, just remove your word and just say I am possible. Then definitely you can run your venture. So that's all about me. And which you today you guys call me and just tell, just you told that, just tell about my journey. This is all about my journey, but tomorrow hope I can also hear from your stories soon. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Amrit. That was indeed a knowledge-rich discussion on the real-life scenario of the student entrepreneurial ecosystem, UK versus India. So now let's explore further through an open Q&A forum. So if participants, if you have any questions, please post them in the chat box. So while the questions are coming up, I have a few questions for you. So first of all, I would like to ask to Mr. Bentley. So in your view, how would you rate the support given by governments in running your businesses?
I would rate it quite highly. It's because if you look at the picture of UK businesses, currently you could say there's almost in stats there's almost 6 million businesses here in the UK right now, and most of it constitutes to SMEs. This is possible because UK government understands that businesses play a vital role in making the economy run, and a great case of support by the government I could attribute to is during these pandemic times. As I said, it was difficult. It is a difficult time for all, and especially businesses, because of the lockdown, they had to close their doors. They couldn't operate as their normal operations. So they were not able to generate the revenue which they would have if they had opened their shops. So all this time we had a long period of lockdown here in the UK. Non-essential shops were not allowed, non-essential businesses were not allowed to open and run. So all of these businesses were incurring expenses, rent, salaries, all that. So if it was not for the government, all of these businesses would have shut shop. Government came up with schemes which supported businesses, such as universal credit, or all these, which allowed them to get money from government on a monthly basis, so that they could meet these expenses. And as a foreigner, as an entrepreneur myself, as a student here in the UK, I feel that there are a lot of opportunities and support from the government for me to pursue entrepreneurship. If you're not from the EU, you'll be given a visa, a startup visa, which allows you to stay in the UK and explore your idea. So what they allow you to do is create jobs. So they understand the value of that, creating jobs, entrepreneurs in the system. And that is why they are one of the biggest ecosystem or startup ecosystem in the world. It's right there among the top 5. It's in my knowledge, it's third or second after US, China. It's right there. So the major reason has been this, the constant support of the government. So I would rate it quite highly.
Thank you, Bentley. So I have the same question to you as well, Mr. Amrit. So how would you rate the support given by the government in running your business in India?
Yeah, Bentley rightly told. I don't even can tell it is a second or third position here in Kerala. Right. So I can tell you that government is giving the supports, which means, as we all know, this session is also supported by the Kerala Startup Mission. There are nodal agencies which is supported by the government. So the thing is, we have politics here. That is a major thing which I just want to focus you. See, politic in the sense there are political parties which make issues. If you are running or if you are just going to start up an industry, they will come with all these flags and just they will blabber all those things. That is the main case which we can see here in Kerala. But of course, I can say that if you have an idea, definitely there are people that to help you people to develop all those things. So I can give you an example. Today also in today's newspaper, I have just saw that I told you that today is MSME Day. See, the what ease of doing business. For the ease of doing business means we have a single window channel. If you are just going to run a business, we can register in that ease of doing business channel, and for all the registrations, whatever the license, whatever the things you just want related to the business, we just want to only in the previous period we want to go to n number of office and n number of offices we just want to see, and we want to ask for the license, we want to get the signature of all the things. It is really headache in the later periods. But now Now I can say in the single window channel, we can do all those registrations. We are able to get licenses, and even the funding also from the startup mission also getting funded, from the government also getting and there are a lot many schemes from the central government also, and all the support system was there. But only the thing is how that we can manage all those things. Definitely the issues are, I can't rate it in a scale, but definitely the issues is here, but the only thing is how just we can tackle it and just move ahead. That is the fact which I just want to focus.
Thank you, Amrit. Thank you for that. And I have another question as well to Amrit. What are your views on the role of investors and incubators in our country?
The thing is, like in the Malayalis or the Keralites hesitate to invest in the Kerala startups. That is a normal scenario that we can see here. That is somehow we can relate to the politics same way, because even the Bentley told that it is so much friendly, or the government is supporting us. It is in any manner they will be supporting, because in the other countries it is business friendly state is comparing to the Kerala. It is so much widely perspective rather than comparing to the Kerala. So the investors coming to the Kerala, it is very much stringent comparing to the other states. So I don't think so. The investors came to Kerala and invest to the startups and all those things. Otherwise, it should be a giant like the Byju's or the Kenmi or something like that. The big shots, you will be get invested. Otherwise, for the simple, just a small scale industries, I don't think so. You will get investors. It should be very pretty hard.
No, I would like to differ there with Amrut there, because as you said, the big name Byju's. So Byju's started in a small office in Kottayam, and the story right now is very inspiring for many entrepreneurs in India across the globe. So right now things are changing in India because investors are interested in Indian ecosystem right now, and that is proof, because if you look at the history of like past 10 years, if you could look into the numbers of unicorns right now in India, it's way before. Like in 2013, I would say there was only like 1 or 2 unicorns. In 2021, there's about 100, and most of these numbers has increased in the past 3-4 years. This is because the ecosystem in India has changed a lot. Yes, the red tape and corruption, all that is there, but the government has helped a lot in changing the scenario. So
definitely I can say that I'm telling about the investors in the period before the Byju's is invested by the Facebook. What is the position of Byju's? Can I know
that? That is what I said. Things are changing now. Things are changing because Byju's has come up. There are other startups. You mentioned Koya, right? There's this other startup which focuses on tender coconut. So they provide powdered coconut, tender coconut. What it allows you to do is, if you put it in a glass of water, and pour that powder, add some water, you get the normal tender coconut drink.
Yes.
So there are startups like that, and these startups are getting recognition. They are from Kerala, and they're getting a lot of investors right now. Things have changed because that success story has come in, and that change is happening. It's slow, but
definitely changes are happening. I'm not completely opposing.
No, I didn't just agree with you like that. I just saying like you just don't have to be disheartened that Kerala is like that.
Yes.
So if people are looking for you, if you look for the right persons, you'll be able to get the investments. Things have quite changed a lot.
Things are changing. I do accept that, but in the initial stage, we want to do the homework all around. What are the things that we can do?
Hard work. That is that. Yeah.
Thank you, both of you, for that. And we have one more question that is to Bentley, again regarding the views of the role of investors and incubators in your country, that is UK. So what are your views about it?
So I would say the role of investors and incubators in every country is almost the same, because the main core purpose is somewhat similar. So here in the UK, most of the investors look to I would say it's the same in India as well. Investors invest in your idea. So if your idea is worth, investors gonna. But this has manifold consequences. Investors are not just giving you funds. For example, when I start my venture, within 2 weeks, I got this mail from a person in Ireland who said that he's interested in investing in me. So this happened within two weeks of launching. So this is a boost to my confidence. So it says that I'm doing something right. My idea is worth something. So that is the psychological aspect investor gives you. It gives you a feeling of trust. So they are one of the first people to trust you with your idea. They believe in you. So that relationship with investors is pretty much important because they are going to be a part of your company and your idea for a long time to come. So it is really important that you get to know the investor well, what they are looking for. If investor is just money minded, your business is not likely going to be succeeding, because the sole reason is that they are going to look for exits where they could make profits. Such exits may put your business at risk. So investors play a crucial role in the businesses, and here in the UK they are quite supportive. They understand what the needs of the entrepreneurs are, and a trend I could recently observe is a call for more green startups, more sustainable startups here. So startups which is addressing the problems of climate change, sustainability, pollution, all that is gaining momentum right now here in the UK. And incubators, again, when you start a venture, as myself, I didn't have much money. I invested my own savings for hosting the website, or all the initial expenses I had put in myself. But when I'm trying to scale my operations, I'll need resources, I'll need facilities, and incubators play a crucial role in providing that. And on top of that, what the important role that they give you is mentorship. They guide you. As a student, I'm less experienced, right? So I may make mistakes, and incubators play a crucial role in providing that mentorship. And these incubators could have personals who are having experiences starting their own ventures, and they could transfer that knowledge to you, so that you don't make the mistakes which they made. So I think it plays a creative role, a great role, significant, crucial role in taking the idea forward and helping you succeed. And here, I think that incubators are in great numbers. There are almost, if I could say, university wise, there are almost 130, 140 universities here in the UK right now. And most of these UK universities have their own incubation cell. My university has an incubation cell, and it is working very closely with Scottish Enterprise, Scottish government, uh, and grade, so on, so forth. So what it allows me to do is get that opportunity to take my idea forward, get their insights, then work around that insight and succeed. So I think that's the crucial role of investors and incubators played here in the UK right now.
Thank you so much, Bentley. We have one more questions for you and for Amrit as well. So I'll ask Amrit first. So are you planning to expand and explore beyond your country in the future?
Yeah, definitely. Because the thing is, I'm doing the business with Square, and the Square and this fiber is already being exported to the different countries. And as Bentley told, this is a natural byproduct which is completely gaining from the Kerala, and around 35 to 40% of the items is being exported to the different countries. So if I am able to scale up this business, this is not a business thought which I can tell you. This is a natural resource which we are getting from the Kerala, as you told, the tender coconut and the powders, which means the glasses, the fibers, the coir, and there are n number of varieties that we may get from this single coconut tree. Even though if you are taking everything, that can be a scalable thing. So which means if we are investing in this particular product that can be scalable, that can be being exported to the different countries, that is a natural resource that we can protect in our near future. And of course I can say from this government or from the near side, I can say we need to protect all these natural resources. This is actually a complete natural resource that we need to protect it. Even though that may reflect to our complete life soul, which means the natural calamities and the soil erosions and everything we can just eradicate if we are just planting all these coconut trees. That is the way which we want to think it. We don't talk always about business. Of course, we are getting, or we can generate revenue from this. In the other side, we can focus into these things, and we can plant lot many coconut trees, and we will be getting yield from that. All the things, even the husk we may get from the coconut, whether it is a whether it is a that green color or a brown color, even though there is a different use for that. That is the thing, and all these things can be get exported also. So definitely I'm planning to do all these things in the near future, and all these things, we n number of products that we can make from this single coconut tree, and definitely will do that.
I
Thank
think there's a business opportunity for you there, right? With that business, I think it's based in Angomali. I forgot the name. It's a Tender Go. So they collect karika, the tender coconut,
Yeah.
and then they take what is inside, and that is what is used to make the.
For the water,
Sorry.
that pulp or water.
The pulp, the pulp.
Pulp. Okay,
Yeah.
fine. Yeah.
So they collect that, and then they convert that using their technology to the powder. So they don't have any use with the shell. So maybe you could
Okay.
use it if you could get partnership with that.
Even the shell we can see in Amazon. The coconut shell is selling around 250 to 300 rupees. The shell, around three
Yeah.
or four number of shells is getting scalable.
Yeah, the charata, right? The charata,
Yeah,
that
exactly.
portion. That so
Even
there
though
are
as it, yeah,
there are
as it,
artists now who make products with that, like
yes,
plates,
yes,
like bowls, hangings, all that. So I've seen
lot,
that.
yeah,
So
lot many
quite innovative, quite nice to see that. Yeah.
lot many handicrafts has been exported to the
Yeah.
different countries. And it is, as you told, that pulp, no, that pulp will be get dried, and that is also used to get exported, and
Yeah.
that will be exerted with some amount of water, and that will be in the automatical stage of that pulp itself. So there are different technologies that can be get converted, and the period, the expiry can be get long more years also. There are technologies which, only the thing is, we want to be get used to that.
Yeah.
So, Bentley, it's time for you to answer about if you have any future plans on coming, like exploring other countries.
No, not at the moment, because UK is a very vast country, and it takes a lot of time to explore what's here. So yeah, I have my ideas in India, but I would like to explore right now because I got this chance here. So I've been working on it for the past 2 years to explore what is here. So I would like to explore what's here for me, and then come back maybe after, with that knowledge, and then start something very substantial there. So yeah.
UK is better, right?
No, it's not because it's better. Yeah, yes. In terms of work-life balance, I'm enjoying a lot of there's a lot of benefits here. But I would like to come back to my country. Yes, that's something which I would like to do, but not now, because I would want to get that experience from here, then take that work culture back to India, and then take it forward. Yeah.
Yes, perfect.
Okay, that's great. So we have one more question for you both. So how easy or difficult it is to get the ecosystem support for a normal student with no influential social network? So Bentley can answer.
See, everybody starts from scratch, so nobody comes with a wide range of networks. So as Amrit said in his presentation, that you have to network, even if you think it's not meaningful, it's not gonna generate something valuable to you in the future. You may have to do it, because you can't say what happens in the future, because your actions in the past have a connection to what you're doing in the future. So I've experienced this a lot, because going for fests, attending fests, I got this opportunity to meet other students there who are like-minded like me, who want to explore ideas, who want to be entrepreneurs, who wants to excel in what they're doing. So they are the future, right? So they are like me starters, and in the future they might excel. So I have a friend, my mentor, who is a leading advocate right now in the High Court. We all started together. So that is what I say. Like so, networking is important. So never think that it is not beneficial for you. And as part of the ecosystem, the ease of accessing it's not easy anywhere in the world. You have to face with the hurdles coming with it. But then that is the fun part. If it's something comes easy to you, you won't know what the value of it is. So I'm able to talk about my venture so proudly. It's because I put in a lot of efforts for it, and I know the hours. So the first 7 days, I hadn't slept properly. I was too much into it. So a lot of time was spent around it to set it up and get it running. So that feeling, where down the line, if you look at it, it gives you a satisfaction. It gives me a satisfaction that I did something like that, and it's the reaping benefits. Maybe in the future this venture may not succeed. Maybe it does not reach the heights which I intended it to be. But then again, it gives me a lot of experience, a lot of insights on how not to do businesses, on what the mistakes are. And if I can learn from that and not repeat that, then going forward I can be successful in some other idea. So that is something which I believe. And the ecosystem is accessible, it's easy. In that point, like, where if you have a good idea, if you have a good business plan, and if you have a good vision for your startup, then there are always going to be some people who are going to help you to achieve that idea into a good business, sustainable business.
Thank you so much, Bentley, and thank you so much, Amrit, for your time and all the informative things which you guys told. Thank you so much. And a feedback form link will be put up in the chat board. So participant, please do click on it and give your valuable comments on this webinar. So now we have finally come to the end of the webinar. I request Mr. Srihari to take over to propose the vote of thanks.
Good evening, all. No duty is more urgent than that of returning thanks. Gratitude is not the most virtuous, but parent of all others. As part of Bhavan's Royal Institute of Management, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to the student entrepreneurs, Mr. Bentley De Cruz and Mr. Amar KS, for enlightening us with your commendable discussion on the subject, and gracing us with your important works and sharing your findings and your opinions. It was indeed an enriching learning experience and an inspiration for the participants as well as for enlightening the future student entrepreneurs. Let me take this opportunity to extend my gratitude to our respected Dean, nodal officers of IEDC, and faculty members for their guidance, moral support, dedication, and motivation to make this event a grand success. I also extend my thanks to the IEDC Executive Council, who worked hard to make this event a memorable one for all of us. And finally, I thank all the participants for contributing their time and making this event a grand success. Thank you all.
Once again, I thank you, Amrit and Bentley. We had a wonderful session with lots of insights.